Good day everyone, my name is Vannaka and welcome back to another Leagues video. If I had already fun playing yesterday, then today was even 10 times better. Once again we made loads of progress. As you may remember, yesterday we ended off with max cash, which means that from now on we can buy anything our heart desires. The goal of today was to start focusing on the combat masteries, which is a new thing in Leagues this year. Instead of getting only one combat relic that decides your build, you can now spend points in all kinds of perks to boost your melee, ranged or magic. I will talk about this in more detail later in the video, but now first I want to focus on what I decided to do with my cash tag. The Golden God Relic doesn't just provide money and magic experience, but it's also an infinite prayer source. I decided that I want to get level 99 in this skill, but in order to do that properly, I needed a gilded altar in my house. So I bought the items I needed and started training construction. For the early levels I did some mahogany homes, which was like 6 contracts or so, and I did this until I hit level 47, needed to build golden sinks. I mean, I have all the money in the world, so why not just do that? The only problem with golden sinks is that they require mahogany planks, and I needed to train some woodcutting levels in order to get those. It was a bit annoying, but in the end really worth it. So once I finally got level 75, it was time to start training prayer. And oh god, pun intended, this was insane. I was getting crazy XP numbers, like 24 mil per hour, which is literally 99 prayer in just 30 minutes. You see, every time I offer 20k coins, in return I get the equivalent of a dragon bone in experience, aka 4k per bone at my current multiplier. If you drag your inventory on top of the altar and spam the escape button and mouse keys on your numpad, you can blast through the levels. But if you don't want to be super active, you could instead just use your coins on the altar once and let your character do the work. 25 minutes of AFKing results in over 4 mil prayer XP, and that is only on a multiplier of 8. But the best part about this is that while offering money, we can also AFK alch at the same time too. I had some gold leaves left and decided to alch those, and by doing this, I wasn't even losing money while training with this method. So I was like, you know what? My character can stay here all day. I'm gonna take a break and take a golden shower. Okay, I hope you get the pun on this one, otherwise it's really embarrassing. Anyway, long story short, Golden God is the GOAT. And I do know that there's a lot of controversy of people saying that it only helps in the early game, but after Golden God, there's no game left to play, even in the end game, I tell you. Magic, prayer, construction, crafting, fletching, smithing, farming, even cooking if I needed it, is a free 99, or even better, free 50 mil XP with this relic. So that is not just early game, that's end game too, and so many league points. So yep, I'm a big fan of this relic. So yep, I got level 99 prayer, completed some side tasks too by turning on some prayers and restoring some points, and after this I finally decided to start training combat. I may have hinted at this before, but I've decided to be a mage build this year. I am aware that in the end, this might be one of the weaker builds compared to ranged and melee, but I do have a feeling most people will pick these and I want to do something different. On top of that, I had melee last year, so that is why I didn't want to pick it again. Because I have all the money in the world now, I decided to buy some runes at Baba Yaga's magic store. My goal for today was to try and max out my complete magic combat masteries. So this means 6 tasks must be completed. And this may sound a bit overwhelming, but trust me, it really isn't that bad. The first task was to kill a giant. Well, I was already able to cast Fire Wave, so that wasn't too much of a problem. I picked the first magic mastery, which increases my max hit by 50% if I hit 90% of my max hit or higher. On top of that, my passive effect is now that I have a 95% chance to save runes or ammo. I guess it doesn't really matter too much, since I can buy as much as I want anyways, but hey, it's still nice. The next task was to kill 10 creatures at level 100 plus. Well, very close nearby these moss giants I had some Sukwas to kill, super easy as well. This unlocked my second tier. For every tick I'm not attacking with magic, my max hit is increased by 5% until a max hit of 40%. Very interesting. The passive effect in this tier is that all healing sources are increased by 20%. For the third tier, I needed to kill Scurious. Once again, not too much of a challenge with Fire Wave and 99 prayer now, so I did that quickly and boom, that was 3 combat masteries in a couple of minutes. And the third tier is a big one, because it increased my max speed from 5 ticks to 4, and it makes a pretty big difference. And also as a passive, all my attacks have now 100% more accuracy, which is also pretty big. So that is 3 combat achievements out of 6 done. The next one was to kill a Slayer creature that requires level 55 Slayer to kill. for example Turoth in the Fremennik dungeon. So I grabbed my first Slayer task and started training. In the meantime, I got a tip from someone to go and buy an Onyx in the Tazar shop, so I took a little break to go there and bought one for 200 league points, as well as some other Tazar items. By the way, another quick 200 points is to buy free entrance at the Brimhaven dungeon for 1 million GP. Yeah, I didn't know this was a thing, but now I do. Oh, and you may have noticed that I have some lunar armor now too, which I claimed at Purdue in Lumbridge. That is some nice magic gear for now. So after doing a bit of Slayer, I realized I was missing out on quite a bit of experience by not leveling up my Relic to tier 5. This increases your experience multiplier to times 12 instead of times 8. So I just had to go and rush some more tasks to get this unlocked. And tier 5 gives you the option to choose between Treasure Arbiter, Production Master, and Slayer Master. Treasure Arbiter makes all clues have the lowest amount of steps possible, you get max rolls, and you don't need any more emote clue items. Production Master is an old relic returning to this league, which makes it possible to perform an inventory of skilling actions all at once. And last but not least, we have the Slayer Master Relic, which turns you into a Slayer Master that can kill any Slayer monster for Slayer experience and have free access to all items in the Slayer store. I mean, I know my name is Vannaka, but I wish I could do that on Slayer Drop Locked. Would have made my life a lot easier. Okay, so that is all the relics of tier 5. I have a pretty clear idea about what I want, and I already know it's not Treasure Arbiter. I heard it's already very OP when you have the third relic clue compass, and I didn't want to focus on doing clues all the time, so I thought it was not worth picking. And then we have Production Master and Slayer Master. You may expect me to choose Slayer Master, but I've decided to go with Production Master instead. I think it really syncs well with the Golden Gold relic I chose before, because I can buy noted items, so that's really going to help me later. Alright, so after this I got level 55 Slayer and killed a Turoth to boost my magic mastery to level 4. And this relic heals me for 10% of my hit whenever I hit 90% or higher of my max hit. A passive healing effect is always welcome in my book. The passive effect of this tier is that all incoming damage is reduced by 15%. Only 2 more to go to fully master magic. The tasks I want to do are reach level 100 combat and defeat Jad. At first I wanted to go for 100 combat, but I realized it was gonna take quite a while. Magic was getting closer to level 99, and then it's just defense and HP that can do the job for me. I first tried continuing my Slayer grind to gain some combat levels, but it just felt too slow. So I decided to do the fight caves first, because this unlocks the 5th tier. So I took my mage gear and grabbed some sharks and prayer potions to do the fight caves. It was a bit slow, but really not that hard at all actually. Goodbye Jed, and hello combat relic number 5. And this is a big one, guys. My magic attack speed is now doubled, but even more than doubled because it's rounded down, making my 5-tick staff now 2-tick. This is comparable to a blowpipe speed in the main game. And also there's a passive effect. Prayer Restoration is now increased by 25%, so that's very nice and welcome for prayer potions. So with this 5th relic, it was a lot easier to wave through some Slayer tasks and get level 100 combat. Yep, in leagues everything is possible. I finally made it to level 100 to unlock the last tier. And trust me, this is a pretty crazy effect. My max hit is increased by 1% for every 100 hit points remaining on my target, which means that on a creature with 1000 HP or more, my max hit will be increased by 10%. This will be very good in raids. On top of that, if a creature has lower hit points left than my max hit, I insta-kill it. I can't wait to use that in the monkey room in Tombs of Amascut later. But there's also a passive effect, and that's a pretty big one if you ask me. I can now hit for 60% through my opponent's prayer. That's also going to be crazy when fighting the Kelphite Queen or the Wardens after I pick the desert. Damn. Once again, we did a lot of stuff today. After I got the full magic mastery, I wanted to test it out for a bit, so I decided to kill Scurious a couple of times for fun, which was extremely easy and almost 100% AFK. I managed to get some Scurious spines as well and put these on my other combat stats to boost them up a little. My magic is now incredibly strong and I can't wait to take this power with me to the next area we will unlock tomorrow. But that is all I did today. So if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like on the video and comment your combat mastery choice down below. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.